Hi, and welcome to Listen and Heal. I'm Svetlana Toneva, violinist, creator, and host. It is my sincere intent, through starting this series, to provide you with a much-needed sense of grounding and peace at these challenging times. In each episode, you're going to see and hear 3 musical performances, as well as an interview with a spiritual leader or a life coach. What you just heard is The Sorceress, an original composition by Daniel Ramirez, based on some of my beloved Bulgarian folk dances and rhythms. I chose this as our opening piece today because it grounds me by bringing me back to my musical roots and happy childhood memories. I'm sharing it with you in the hopes that it will bring you back to some of your joyful memories in much happier times. When the thought of starting this series first occurred to me, I reached out to many of you, my friends, to find out what weighs heavily on your hearts and minds. Here today, to help out with some of our most challenging questions and difficult emotions, is intuitive life coach Tamara Quizer from Boulder, Colorado.
You work with a lot of artists. As you know, many of us, if not all of us, deeply identify with what we do. What advice do you have for us for coping with the loss of identity right now?
So I would challenge your listeners, assuming most of them are artists of some sort, to let go of that identity, because identity is a tricky thing. It can be very divisive. It can cause a lot of pain, and it can also be very misleading. So once again, the challenge would be to let go of this identity that I'm a musician, I'm a performer, I'm a composer. Because what if, and here we are, I'm unable to do that? Then I'm completely lost, right? And really, as the observer of one's life, which I won't actually go into right now, but just imagine observing this thing called your life, saying, well, I'm much more than a violinist. I am much more than. And so this time period has been absolutely incredible for losing one's identity and not being lost per se, but being able to let go of that which is not serving, and anything that is fear-based, bringing fear, creating fear, resentment, guilt. These things are available to be let go of. And this time, because we are, so immobilized, it's perfect. I mean, think about another time in your adult life or your life at all, where all of these things have been taken away and we're left with really who we are.
So with that said, and keeping in mind that most of our listeners are artists, what things do you recommend to most of your clients who are artists?
So first and foremost, remember that this body, this vehicle, needs very specific things. It's not rocket science. It's not anything revolutionary that I would say about that, except hydration, good nutrition, sleep, and activity. And everyone who knows me, has been part of my practice, knows I love to discuss this all the time. I'm not sorry to be the broken record, so to speak. This body is over 70% water. If it doesn't have its foundational building block, it's not going to perform. It's not going to be on task. It's not going to remember things. It's just not going to perform, let's just say. So first and foremost, staying hydrated, half of your body weight in ounces of water a day. A little helpful tip that I love to bring up is to put a pinch of sea salt in your water if you don't have access to the engineered alkaline fancy water, which is excellent, but not necessary. And slowly sip throughout the day, and you'll watch brain fog disappear, you'll watch your mood elevate, you'll watch your muscle memory improve, because what's going to happen over time is your muscle memory for playing your instrument is right. You got to use it or you lose, right? And so giving your body the best opportunity to be on top of things. Be aware of the pH, super easy to research the pH of foods, and be aware that we want to kind of err on the alkaline side, especially in the US because of our diets. So I won't get too deeply into that, but that's something that I like to give a focus to. Tons of research on sleep, at least 8 hours. And so many of you artists are night owls. And so great, I am too, but you want to make sure that you factor in a chunk of 8 hours of sleep. Thing that I would say is by far the most important thing is to find a way, if you are not already a meditator, meditate. There's fantastic apps. I recommend them to clients all the time. There is tons of YouTubes. Very frequently a new meditator, and even someone like me who's 26 years into that practice, appreciate music. I'm very affected by music, and I appreciate music. So very rarely would I be meditating in silence, although I could do it at any time, anywhere. But I think it's a great way to start. And even if it's 20 seconds where you are quieting your mind, that's perfectly okay.
When coping with a difficult emotion, I often just reach for my instrument and play. If it's truth and honesty I'm seeking, I'll probably go for solo Bach. But if I need to let my hair down, feel everything there is to feel, I'll go for Piazzolla, which is always very cathartic for me with its fire and passion. What you're about to hear is Piazzolla's Tango Etude No. 3 for solo violin. I hope you'll enjoy.
Another big concern in the artistic community is the fear and the uncertainty that we face as all of our work has been suspended for quite a long time. How do we deal with that?
So besides the ways that we've already discussed, the self-care for the body, meditating from anywhere from 20 seconds to 10, 15 minutes a day.
Mm-hmm.
Then the other thing that I've had a great deal of success helping people to appreciate is that this space in time where things have come to be very quiet lends itself to be a very good time to recognize that we've been running on autopilot for a very long time.
Yes.
So we identify with all these things. We're busy, we have a schedule, we've got to rehearse, we've got to get here, we've got to get there. Are my clothes ready? It's just autopilot, right? It's what we do, it's what we know. So take this time of slowness, this time of quiet, and become an expert on identifying your own feelings as they come up, because you can, because you are not your feelings and you are not your thoughts. You are actually a consciousness that's very much in control of those things. But so often when we're busy and in full-blown life, we feel like everything is just happening to us and we're just responding, right? So now we have the chance to go, so I'm feeling fear right now. What am I doing while I'm feeling that fear? Am I on social media? Have I read one too many articles today? Have I just got off the phone with my mother and she's, asking me what else? Well, what are you going to do now? What is it? So just be the observer, be aware of what your feelings are as they're happening. Sounds kind of bizarre, but it's actually very attainable. And in my practice, it's one of the biggest, most important ways we have to begin to have thoughts and feelings that support the life that we want to live, that support the experiences. And so when we can become an expert at that, in my opinion, there's nothing we can't attain. And I want to leave you with one more thing, as if that's not enough. The thing that helps kind of wrangle this mind that my favorite mentor, Joe Dispenza, Dr. Joe Dispenza, talks about the mind as being like a wild horse.
Yes.
You can really, when you think about how your thoughts go, it's like, oh yes, that's very accurate. So the idea of positive affirmations.
Yes.
If we give that wild, fantastical, creative beast of our mind something to focus on, because it's not the next piece of music right now.
Yes.
But even when it is, this is a good thing to do, is feed that beast very positive, loving, focused things, such as, my environment always shows up to support me. I love how my friends are there for me whenever I need them. I feel loved. All is well. I love how growth and opportunities always find me. I know you, as well as I, as a firm believer of the law of attraction, thoughts become things. Thoughts are the electro part of our makeup, and the feelings are the magnetic part of our existence. So I want my electromagnetic signature to be in alignment with the experiences that I want to have in life, right? Mm-hmm. So please, my friends, this is an unprecedented time. We've never been here before. I challenge you to think of this as a new frontier, a new way of being, to let go of old paradigms, old ways of thinking, try something new every day, seek to not identify with just what you do for a living, but who you are as a divine person having a human experience, and just allow yourself the space to be happy. I know it sounds like, well, duh, but there's too many things out there that don't point to that happiness. And we can spend a large part of our day thinking about what we don't want. And just as you said, Svetlana, it's, in my opinion, you will not manifest the experiences and the life that you want based on thinking about what you don't like.
Mm. Last but not least, we would be remiss to not address the isolation factor.
Mm.
What advice do you have for those of us who are feeling particularly isolated right now?
So we're open in Boulder, Colorado. We're in week 4 now. And
Yeah.
so we're ahead. So I can speak from being there and then,
Right.
where we're at now. One thing that's helped friends out a lot is to get dressed. To not stay in your sleep clothes or the holiest shirt you have.
Guilt discharged.
Right? Get up. Ladies, do your hair. Guys, I don't know what you guys have to do, but, get dressed. And
yeah.
then by all means, be aware of what you're focusing on. And if you're focusing on feeling isolated, I'm sure you will be feeling very miserable. But if you can just step back, one way that seems to be very helpful to pop out of the pity party, and I said that kind of like that for a reason, because there's always another place that has it, another person, another country, even in our own neighborhoods, someone that has it so much worse than us.
Absolutely.
So let's count our blessings. Let's stay in appreciation. Oftentimes my affirmations sometimes take a turn to just being lists of what I appreciate, what I am grateful for.
Yep.
Abraham Hicks talks about the rampage of appreciation. If you go on YouTube and you search for the rampage of appreciation, Abraham Hicks, there's a recording that will light a little fire under your tuchus, and you will get a big kick out of it, because it's about steering your thoughts and feelings in the direction opposite of what you don't want.
Right.
So get dressed, call your best friend, take a walk, whatever it is, do something. I loved what one of my clients did, and I've tried it out now with others. She decided, because she's a professional athlete, and she does obstacle racing, and that's her livelihood, and all of the races have been done away with. And so she decided that she was going to, with the extra time she had, she was going to do something new every day, something she's never done.
I love that.
I just thought, fantastic. And so that is absolutely goes hand in hand with that shedding of the identity of that you are what you do.
Thank you so much for the gift of your time today.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you.
For those of you who would like to personally reach out to Tamara, her contact details will be listed in the resources at the end of today's video.
Having had such a hopeful conversation with Tamara, it's only right that we finish with a piece matching that frequency. Coming up, we have Chinar S, a beautiful Armenian folk melody by Komitas, arranged by Daniel Ramirez. For this, joining me on the guitar is Australian-born, New York City-based guitarist Rupert Boyd. Chinar S is a beautiful song which speaks to us of the resilience of true love. I leave you with this today, wishing you health, strength, and lots of resilience as we continue to navigate a changed and changing world. Thank you for being with us.